think people need to start being realistic about life and not letting social media define what they think a relationship should be. Because again, a lot of people are only posting, the good times. Don't get me wrong, people post the bad too, but then it gets to be something else. So I hate to see those type of posts. But a majority of the time, people are only posting, the ups of the relationship. So I'm not gonna let what I see on social media define what I think he should be doing for me or what I should be doing for him or how our relationship should be, because I have my own definition of happiness. And I think a lot of people need to stop looking at social media and letting social media tell them what life is supposed to be. Social media is just, it used to just be fun and laughs. And now people are just taking it to heart. And it blows my mind.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I definitely grew up in a time where, social media was not like a prevalent thing. Um, and, I fall in that space too. Like, I feel like a lot of times, I've been in conversations with people about, how realistic, social media may be or may not be. For me personally, like, I feel like when I'm posting, I'm always thinking about the things that are like really going on or that are really happening to me. When I post, most times my motivation is always like, what is somebody else going to take from this? And it's not necessarily like, painting a picture that isn't there, but it's me basically encouraging people to try to focus on the triumphs rather than the things that, may hinder your progress in life. And so and that everybody approaches that differently. In my mind, I'm always thinking like, the person that's viewing this, like, what can they take away from this? There's a way that you can approach this that keeps you on the positive or optimistic end of it. That's kind of like my motivation when I'm posting, unless I'm just having like, an off day and I'm in my emotions and I'm just like, hey, you're going to hear about what's going on. But with regards to like relationships, that's one of the reasons I hardly ever post. Like, I've never really posted like my relationships or made them public, because I feel like when you do that, you're also like, yes, it's transparent, but you're also opening up your relationship to other people for scrutiny and for appearances, right? Because like, if your relationship is in a great space and let's just say a couple of months down the line something happens and it's not, now what are you representing? So I tend to keep my relationships off social media for that reason. I will engage with the person as far as like commenting on their photos or, liking their posts, but I don't typically like post them up on my page or, photos and things like that. One of the things that bothers me most about social media is the expectations that is placed on women. And just like what we are putting out on social media, how much of ourselves we're exposing on social media, like what it does to women's self-esteem and how they feel about themselves, that comparison that you see, like that is something that, like, because I like to approach it from a positive perspective, when I see that, it just really gets under my skin. Like, how feel about these things, either just like in regards to your relationships on social media or even like just how you feel as a woman, just seeing certain images or videos of women that are on social media as influencers or whatever.
So to touch on something you said about putting your relationships on there on social media, I am 100% with you on that, because I told myself I'm not posting another relationship on social media. I'm not doing it because I don't like people in my business. It burns me up. It grinds my gears. I like to keep my life to the people who are really a part of it and who I talk to about, my everyday struggles or my triumphs, all those type of things. But as far as posting my man on my page and I will not do that again. I was head over heels for a guy some years ago, and you know who it is. And the first time when I got to posting him and our trips and us with the kids and this and that, man, a few months down the line, I get a text. Oh, so you're dating such and such? And I'm like, yeah, we've been dating for a while now. Fran, call me. Call you. All right. I'm at work. on my little break, call my friend, hey girl, what's up? Girl, so I was with my friend the other night and she was talking about this dude he's been dating and he got a girlfriend, but things been kind of rocky. And she showed me his picture, and that's your man. Friend, I almost hit the ground. I'm at work too. You know, that's the worst place to find out some information. I almost hit the
Right.
ground. I could have been getting played in peace had I not been posting this man. I would have been in bliss like I was, happy with him and our kids. Our household was good. From that day forward, nothing was good between me and him. It went downhill. Maybe we had a good day or two there, but after that day, it was downhill because when they say what's done in the dark is gonna come to the light, ever since that day, everything was just coming at me left and right. I'm just hearing from this person and from hearing from this person. So now everybody knows that I'm getting played because I didn't put this on social media. Had I not have put it on social media or posted it, I would have just found out maybe eventually, however I found out, and I would have been okay with that. But the fact that after that, everybody knew because I wasn't posting them no more. So you know how people, other people, oh, she ain't posting them no more. Yeah, something must be going on. So now people are in my business, and I really cannot stand that. So when I told myself, I said my next real relationship, I'm not putting it on social media, and not just for that type of situation. Like, oh, if I post them, someone else is going to see them, because I feel like I don't have to worry about things like that because I know I really learn, someone that I'm dating and what they have going on. I really make that a project of mine to learn that person. So I don't think I would be in that situation again, but I'm just not even gonna take the chance. I don't want people in my business, and I'm not posting a relationship. So you don't gotta post me either. Don't do it. Don't even feel like you have to. I'm not worried about it. You post my hand or something. I don't know, but I really feel like that's something because once you put that information out there, you're opening your relationship up to other people to be able to comment on it, tell you different things, speak on it. So I don't want to deal with that. Now, as far as what you asked about how I feel when I see other women on social media, I don't feel too much about it. And it's just, I'm not going to let someone else make me feel any less about myself.
Right.
I'm just not, because what you see on social media is not always real. We can Photoshop, we can use filters, we can do all type of things to make our appearance look different and to what we think, other people will like, and that's okay. But my confidence is not it's not dependent on what I see. Now, when I see these other women, do I think they're beautiful? Yes, of course. But when I see any type of woman, big, small, short, tall, thick, slim, I think women are, beautiful just in general. I don't let social media tell me what's beautiful because I have my own eyes and my own mind, and what I see when I look at women and, men. I know what's beautiful to me because a person could have a banging body, the face, the card that never declines. But what about their attitude? What about the way they treat others? That is what defines beauty to me. So it could be a person who's not as attractive as another person, physically, and they are the sweetest ever. They're funny, they're intellectual, their conversation is, you know, 20 out of 10. It's just top tier when you speak to them. That's beautiful to me. Those are the type of people I want to surround myself with. And when it comes to social media, a lot of the times people get stuck on what people should look like or what they're supposed to look like. That's not real. It's not real, and people don't get that. And it's a generation. It got to be a generational thing because me, the friends that around my age, we know what's real because we didn't come up with social media. We had to live in real life, real time. People now in this newer generation, they don't live in real time. They're stuck on the internet and they're letting the internet tell them what people are supposed to look like. And it's weird to me because they don't go out and just experience like the world and look at real people, interact with people, travel, do different things, and talk to different people to know really how someone can be beautiful, even when they're less easy on the eyes. You know, I don't want to call anyone, you know, ugly or anything like that, but you know, it doesn't have to be what you see on social media just because you see certain people bodies are built certain ways. Because I remember a time where it was not cool to be thick. When I was younger, I got made fun of because I had a big butt and thighs. And then when my little boobs started to grow in, you know, it was weird. But the shape that I have, that little figure eight, it was not cute. And I got made fun of it when I was in school. They called me fat and everything. And then once I got older, ooh, she thick. I was just fat in 6th grade. So, you know, it's not real. And these things are weird to me. So I think people need to, you know, be out in the world and talk to people and really learn how people are and see them for what's inside and how they treat others, because that'll tell you how a woman it really is, you know, how she treats other people. Don't just look at her appearance. And I want a lot of younger girls too to stop looking at what they see on social media and think that that's what their bodies need to look like, or their face, their makeup, because everybody has something that's beautiful about them. So when it comes to social media, I hate that, you know, women get down on themselves because of what they see or what they catch their man liking or anything like that. Because 9 times out of 10, all those pictures that man is liking, that is not what his girl looks like at home. For sure. It's like totally opposite. And even, you know, women with men, I'd be liking a lot of pictures online and stuff like that, but that is not even the type of man that I like in real life. I just think a lot of, especially the younger generation, they need to stop letting social media tell them, you know, what they should look like or what they need to look like, because that's not the case. What about you? What's your take?
I think like social media has like there's some beautiful impact. Like, you know, you get to see like stories where, you know, beautiful things are happening. There's kind gestures and good gestures that you see from people. There's like motivational videos on there. You know, there's like you get a window into a lot of different aspects of things, whether it's something that's done, you know, to make you laugh, some kind of funny video or something inspirational that you see. I definitely think as a mom, like I'm always conscious of what's become the most popular on social media, because, you know, you have like these like sort of like these Hollywood starlets, you know, these baddies, these you know, these influencers, but the reality of it is, you know, they're in a different space in their lives than even where, you know, our young like teenage girls or adult women are, that are still trying to like, you know, figure themselves out or learn themselves, or even how you were talking about how you went through the process of kind of coming into your own as a woman with your body and different things as far as how you dealt with that. Because I also dealt with that too. I was like sort of very tomboyish growing up. I didn't have like a lot of femininity, and I was picked on a lot because of that. I was like really into sports and like stuff like that. And I wasn't popular when I was young, and like, you know, things like that. And it definitely played like a part in why I feel the way that I feel as a woman today, even though like I feel like, you know, I've kind of this, you know, transformed into this beautiful swan. I still remember what it was like when men didn't really find me all that appealing at a point in time in my life. But I never feel like social media makes me want to represent myself as something that like I'm not when it comes to like my physical appearance or my aesthetic. And that's the one thing that I worry about with young girls, because when you see these women that are like working in the nightclubs, or they're, you know, they're working bottle service, or they're video vixens, or they're you know, dating celebrities, or they're out there in this world, they have a persona. But at the end of the day, they get to go back home and be the people they are. For young girls, they're growing up and, you know, they're not really finding themselves, and they're almost like learning how to basically model something that's represented to them, opposed to actually, you know, showing pieces of who they really are. And I think that that's been like the major concern, especially as a mom, is like, how deeply is that impacting, you know, the world around us when it comes to like even just raising our kids? You're a mom, like, do you have any do you have any thoughts about like just like the impact that social media has on like, you know, the younger generation? You know, do you feel like on one hand they're like trendy and they're doing all these videos and going viral and doing amazing things with social media that we didn't have access to, but then on the other hand, you know, there's a lot that's, you know, basically put out on social media to appeal to certain things that might not really be representative of who, you know, who our kids are.
So being a mom, a boy mom, I do, think about things like that when it comes to social media. And the most I can do is hope that my son, doesn't let it define him or who he needs to be. But, he was raised by me, of course, and my grandmother helped out a lot. A lot of older people were around. So the way he acts and the way he carries himself, he's very much a real person. And I love that about my kids. Um, the only thing I can say that I think social media does impact him on is his drive for things. Like when he sees something and he wants it, he's going to get it. And don't get me wrong, I love that for him, and I just tell him, just slow down, just enjoy, being young, because once you get older and you get these bills and stuff, like it gets a little harder, but I do. I think sometimes it makes him feel like maybe, he has to grow up a little faster, but he doesn't. And I try to, reiterate that to him to just slow it down. But he's very goal driven. So when it comes to social media, I appreciate that, for giving him some drive, letting him see the things that he can have, what's attainable, to him, things that he could do, because he's really good when it comes to graphic design, all those type of things. I think in that aspect, social media, does have a good impact on them. I just don't like when it makes the younger generation feel like they need to grow up faster or they're supposed to look a certain type of way. So that's the only thing I would say about being a parent. I hope that they don't think that they need to change anything about themselves because of what they see on social media. Because like we said, a lot of that stuff, it's not real. You don't need to act a certain way or portray yourself a certain way because of what you see. Because like you said, different women, different things like that, with different jobs and services, that's a persona. They have to sell that image. But when they go home, they're totally different people. You might see me on social media and I'm, dipped, hair done, makeup done, all these things, and I'm posting all the good pictures and all the angles. When you see me from day to day, listen, I'm very much a homebody. I'm chilling, eating snacks in my bed, rubbing my feet together. That's what I like to do. But, when you see me and these lights go on and stuff like that, of course, I have to look a little different. But that's not all of me. So people got to realize that, like what you see on camera and stuff like that's not always 100% of that person. But they should never let social media dictate how they're supposed to live their lives from day to day. They need to really just experience life and just talk to people in the real world and really I think a lot of the people who are big on social media, I think they should make that clear too, for the younger generation, or just people who are their fans, followers, things like that. They they need to have some realness about them too at the end of the day.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I do think like definitely with celebrities or influencers on social media, they definitely, in my opinion, they need to do a little bit of a better job at like representing like more of a realistic, experience with people, because, and there are influencers that do that, but there's a lot more of like the fluff, that people are putting out there to basically just kind of sell a narrative that might not really represent, who they are. So I feel that, I feel like, even just, it's hard not to get caught up in that, right? Because even, sometimes just scrolling through, you're looking at certain things, what's more popular, what isn't, what's trendy, what isn't. And, if you've got stuff going on, like you're in the, industry, things like that, or, you're involved on social media or, it can be a little bit taxing. I definitely think to kind of figure out where do you fit in, in those types of spaces.